Hello and welcome to the Movie Dweeb Podcast, a show where I ask your favourite celebrities deeply serious questions. Because I'm an actual journalist. I'm thinking stuff like, would your character survive a zombie apocalypse? Or how much would it cost to leak a spoiler? I am serious. I'm your host, Daniel Merrifield, part-time interviewer, full-time dweeb, and today's episode is a very special one. The guest today helped build a roller coaster in his backyard, had a pet platypus that doubles as a secret agent, and somehow still had time to become a teenage icon. I couldn't achieve any of those in my youth, so yeah. I'm talking about the voice behind Phineas himself, the incredibly talented, the eternally youthful, and probably, way cooler than me, Vincent Martella. Hello, bud.
Hey, Daniel, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much for chatting to me. I might have woken you up at stupid o'clock for this. What's the time where you are?
It is 11:01.
Is that too early to be doing promo?
Oh no, it's the perfect time. No. It's not bad at all. It's the perfect time to be doing promotion. For you, you're what, 9 hours ahead, right?
It is 7 p.m. now.
Oh, 8 hours.
It's actually chucking it down with rain right now, so you've done me a favour by doing this interview because it gives me an excuse to stay in the studio and just stay dry.
That's my goal. That's honestly my goal. No, I was outside all day yesterday. I went to Disneyland yesterday, uh, and so I was just in the sun all day. So, some rain actually sounds nice at being cooler, but not terrible weather all the time.
Yeah, you're right. You went to Disneyland in the sun. Oh, I'm so relieved to be here in the nice, cool, torrential rain. Yeah.
I'm realizing how it sounded now, and I'm taking it back. Yeah, no, but thanks for talking with me. This should be fun.
What is your go ride at Disneyland? So I'm going to Disney World in December, so we have to compare.
Oh, you're going to Disney World. Well, Disney World is so different because there's so many parks at Disney World. At Disneyland, my favorite ride is Indiana Jones. They don't have the Indiana Jones ride at Disney World. That's one thing that they don't have down there. But at Disney World, have you been before?
Yeah, I went April 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. No, so we went yesterday, me and my cast member David, who plays Ferb, because they have Phineas and Ferb walk around characters out at the parks now again, and so we just really wanted to see them in the park. So we went to California Adventure for a little bit and saw them, and it was awesome. It's just very surreal seeing you know, my character. I've played Phineas for almost 20 years, and so seeing my character in the park, and they had our new soundtrack planned for the new season, and so it was like music I've sang is coming out of the speakers at Disneyland. It's very, very amazing, and so yeah, yesterday was a very special day for sure. I had a great time.
Right, let's just cut the niceties, cut the small talk. When are we getting the Phineas and Ferb ride?
We all want a Phineas and Ferb ride so bad, and that's like the number one thing that fans ask me is when are we going to get the Phineas and Ferb roller coaster? It's the easiest idea for a ride. Our most famous episode basically just gifted you all an idea for a ride at a Disney park. We have to start some sort of petition or something. I think it's very rare that they ever utilize television properties that way, where they use television properties and give them an attraction like an actual ride. And so I think it's hard for them to commit to doing that because TV seems so finite. Where um, Little Mermaid is eternal. Like that's like just going to always be there. But hopefully with our with these new episodes out, hopefully we'll be able to do Phineas and Ferb for as many years as possible, and then maybe it'll convince them to give us a roller coaster.
Well, I promise you, I will sign this petition. So far, we've got 2 signatures, me and you. Don't know how many we need, 5.
There we go. What do they need? Yeah, 3 to 5. Like we can manage that.
I can persuade, my wife to sign it. That's 3.
Yeah, I can persuade maybe my parents. We'll see.
That was so easy. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And while we're on the topic of bringing things into existence,
Yeah.
it's been over 10 years, a decade since we last got a full season of Phineas and Ferb. Did you ever think this show would come back, or were you already halfway through pitching this gritty Phineas and Ferb reboot?
No, I mean, what's wonderful about Phineas and Ferb is that it was never too far away. Is that I always, every couple of years in between when we'd finish the show, there was some new reason for me to get to play Phineas. Whether that was I got to play him in some Chibiverse episodes, which is another Disney show. And I played a bunch of characters for Chibiverse, not just Phineas, so that's always fun. I love working with them. Um, so whether it's that or whether it's the film we did in 2020, which is Candace Against the Universe, that was kind of the halfway point. And we all thought after we did Candace Against the Universe, because the numbers did so well for Disney Plus, we did think that, maybe they'll let us do something else, content wise. Maybe they'll let us create something else for either Disney Channel or Disney Plus. And we were just ecstatic when we found out that it was going to be more seasons of the show because that's the perfect way to tell our stories. We love being able to do that. Um, and it's been a year and a half plus since I started working on season five, which is the season that just premiered. And so it's a lot of hard work that is finally, being able to be shown to millions upon millions of people. So I just hope everyone loves everything we've done. I know we really do.
My only grievance with like Disney Plus or just Disney in general is it on the app. I can't change my profile picture to Perry the Platypus.
There are no Phineas and Ferb characters for like your Disneyland or your Disney World passes yet. There might be in the future because I know that we have Phineas and Ferb magic bands at Disney World. They do sell those. And I got one, I mean like 10 years ago when I haven't been to Disney World in more than 10 years. I'm going to a Comic-Con, a really great Comic-Con in Orlando in August. And I'm trying to see if with work I can extend the trip a little bit and I'm able to go to some Disney parks and go have some fun because it's been a really long time since I've been there. And Disney World is amazing. Disney World is no joke.
I haven't been since I opened the Tron ride, so that is going to be honestly the first thing I do. The millisecond I land in Orlando, straight on that.
I've never been on the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster. Have you? Have you done that?
Oh, dude, it is so good. For a period of time, that was just like exclusively all I'd speak about.
Yeah, because we couldn't go on a ton of rides yesterday at Disneyland. Because it was so busy. It's a Friday. It was so busy. But we went on the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's the Tower of Terror changed to Guardians of the Galaxy out here, and that's a great ride. I love that ride. But I've never been on the. I went on Web Slingers for the first time yesterday too. The Spider-Man web slingers, the web shooters.
Genuinely surprised you can still use your arms.
I know it's quite a workout. Yeah, yeah. It's quite wild. But man, yeah, I love going to Disney parks. So I hope I get to go to Disney World in August when I make my trip down there.
Well, I've been to Disney World like 72 times. If you need a tour guide while you're out there, hit me up.
Oh, I will.
I've got us like matching Mickey ears. It's going to be perfect. But until then, you're going to be the tour guide because I've seen the new series of Phineas and Ferb, and honestly, I love it. It like captures so much of what made the original great. But from your perspective, having been with it since day one, does anything feel different this time around?
No, I mean, story-wise, nothing feels different about the show because we set out with a mission to make this feel like a seamless change between season four and season five. We wanted it all to just feel like it was the same show, and in that regard, it does. What I will say changes the most for me is, quite frankly, I mean, all of my experiences on working on Phineas and Ferb, um, plus all the other cartoons and video games that I've had like the great pleasure of working on, have just taught me so much about performing and taught me about how to be better at what I do. And so I feel more confident than ever every time I go into the booth now. And, I have to sing a lot of songs when I, am playing Phineas. And I sing a lot of really great fun music. Like my favorite so far that you guys have seen is Summer is Starting Right Now, which is the song that opens up our new season. And that's, I'm singing that whole song. And so I just feel so experienced now with all these different things that you need to be good at when you're a voice actor. And so for me, I that's the biggest change for me is that just the time has gone by and I've put in a lot of work to be here. And it's it's great though. We have a lot of the same writers who were in the original runs, so that all the heart and the soul feels the same. And some of our new writers are people who grew up with the show, like you and I did. And so, they've lived Phineas and Ferb growing up. And we even have one of our great cast members, Olivia Olson, who plays Vanessa Doofenshmirtz, Doofenshmirtz's daughter. She's one of our writers now. Like she's writing full episodes and writes most of the music that you hear on the show because she's a really talented musician. So we couldn't be luckier to have the team that we have, and everyone's pretty much on the same page, which is if Disney lets us, we'll keep making the show forever. We love it. We love working with each other. We're all very good friends. It's a real pleasure.
I'm so glad you mentioned Summer is Starting right now because in my notes I have it like bold, underlined with like 12 like exclamation marks because I haven't been able to stop humming that damn song.
Oh, good. That's what we want. We want it to get stuck in people's heads. We want people to be obsessed with the soundtrack because we've had some really good songs in the history of Phineas and Ferb, and we have a high bar to live up to. It's not easy, living up to Gitchy Goo, but someone has to do it.
If you can get me to stop singing "There's Squirrels in My Pants" and start singing this, you've done something right.
And we've done something, then we've done our job. So we're we're doing our best with the music these 40 episodes, and I think it turns out really great. And we as usual, there are a lot of genres of music. So it's not just, the pop song like Summer is Starting right now. There's they've got me rapping in an episode, and that is something I'll tell you that I never thought I'd be doing professionally. But you know what? Now I've technically professionally rapped.
I do feel a bit guilty about the miserable weather in England, to be fair, because I got like a bit too into Summer is Starting right now, having it on repeat, like playing it over and over again, and then cue like the heavens opened, like full on torrential rain. So I feel like that's on me.
But we do have quite the storm system in our first two episodes. I don't want to spoil anything for any of your viewers. But we do have something related to weather, quite related to weather, in our very first two episodes. So, for anybody out there, if weather intrigues you, if this conversation about the weather has piqued your interest, then you're gonna love the first episode of Phineas and Ferb.
My whole audience, my entire viewership are just storm chasers. It's quite like a big Venn diagram between like movie lovers and meteorologists.
All they do is watch Twisters every day.
all of my interviews flop, but my Glenn Powell one art blew up.
Your Glenn Powell one was huge. Yeah. Yeah. Your Helen Hunt one, oh my goodness, don't get me started.
That one banged. But speaking of bangers, clever. Do you ever listen back to your music from the show and think like, oh yeah, that one slaps. I killed that.
Yeah, I mean, not usually. Like I'll listen to it out of whenever I have new music that I have to record for Phineas and Ferb, I like to listen to old music we've done just so I can kind of also keep the just the vibe, the energy of what we're doing. But I don't really drive around listening to myself singing. When I'm preparing to either do edits on a song though, when I know I have to go back in and they've sent me like a version of the song that I've sang, in which case then I am studying it a lot. I'm listening to it a lot to try and make sure for work purposes. But I love the music on Phineas and Ferb. It's just a little weird for me to be listening to it all the time.
I love the idea of you at karaoke with all your mates. Like, no, I've got this. I've got this. Do you have Alien Heart?
Dan is like that. Dan Povenmire, who plays Dr. Doofenshmirtz on the show, and he's one of the creators of the show, is we'll go to do karaoke or something. He's like, I'm only doing karaoke if it's a song that I actually sing. And I'm like, Dan, you deserve to have this diva lifestyle that like you've become a diva and an icon, and I can't stop you.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be mad at that. Like, I'd just accept that we're in the presence of greatness. So do it.
Yeah, I guess respect the master on that one. Yeah, he's up there with, he's getting diva status with, Gloria Estefan and, Aretha Franklin and Ariana Grande. He'll be right up there.
I might actually have to cut this bit from the podcast because if he does see this, his like diviness will just grow. We may have just like created a monster.
I know he's only going to become stronger, and yeah, his diva status. He'll want a bigger trailer. His trailer already takes up the entire Disney lot. It's a real. No, who is that? Isn't it like Robert Downey Jr. when he does the Marvel movies has like basically like his own like little like town. Like he has so many like trailers and like his private chefs and stuff. I've heard about where it sounds amazing. It sounds incredible. I mean I wish I was Robert Downey Jr. But yeah, I think he has like a whole like little like section that he takes over in Atlanta.
I bet Feige was like relieved when they killed him off in Endgame. He was like, oh, thank God we don't have to build that Robert Downey Jr. village. And now they've brought him back and he's like, seriously? What are we doing?
We got to build a little Robert Downey Jr. town again. Yeah, I imagine Avengers Doomsday is going to make them so much money that it'll be okay.
What a hot take from you there. I like the ballsy statements you're just throwing out there.
Yeah, because I think Thunderbolts did really well, right? I liked Thunderbolts a lot. I'm just a big Disney and Marvel and Star Wars. I'm just a big pop culture fan in general. But so I was seeing Thunderbolts no matter what. Like I see all the Marvel movies, but Did it actually? I think it did well, right? Like I think people saw it.
I think it did okay. I still think it needs to make like $50 million just to like break even. But that is like no reflection of how good this film is. I honestly watched it and thought Marvel is so back. This is peak Marvel.
You know, I was thinking about yesterday, and this has nothing to do with why we're doing this interview or anything. So I'm off on a tangent, but you know, at Disney California Adventure, they have Pym's Test Kitchen. It's like Hank Pym's Test Kitchen, and that's the restaurant inside of the Avengers campus. Like that's the only restaurant. And I was like, it's so interesting that they picked an like Ant-Man as the restaurant. And then I was trying to think of what even the other restaurants would be of the other Avengers, and there's not really a lot of options for food choices because it was like, what would you even make like a Tony Stark restaurant? That would just be like a fine dining. That would just be like, like somewhere a billionaire would eat.
There's like a little shawarma stall nearby, isn't there?
Yeah, but that's it. So we were trying to think of it, and it was like Captain America, I guess would be like a 1940s diner. I don't know. Not a lot of good options is what I'm saying. Like there's not a lot of great Marvel food that you could make.
I think we just saw the next great installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, haven't we? Like, there's no fighting. There's just like great culinary skills.
Starting a business. It's like the Bear. The Bear season 5 is actually just going to be like a crossover with the Avengers. Oh wait, no, but one of them is in Fantastic Four, right?
That is true. We may have to get Ebon Moss Backrack fired from one of the projects.
You and I will figure out how to make this crossover happen.
That's another petition we just have to start now. Get Ebon Moss Backrack out of the Bear.
We can make this dream come true where he's in back in the MCU, but just under the Bear. Yeah, yeah. We'll be taking a job from him and then giving it right back.
We're just really great people, aren't we?
We're great guys.
Maybe this is what happened with Robert Downey Jr. Maybe this is why he's now playing Doom and not Iron Man.
And they had to bring him back. See, I've read a lot of graphic novels, but I like a lot of the like DC graphic novels more than I like the Marvel graphic novels. And so I actually don't know like a ton about Doom. I've read like two or three graphic novels. So like even when the news of that dropped, and I know that people like feel very different ways about like him playing him. To me, I was just like, I like Robert Downey Jr. I'm excited to see what's going to happen, and I have no like strong feelings about the Fantastic Four characters yet. So like I'm excited to form those opinions. I love all the people in Fantastic Four. I can't wait for that movie. I think that one's going to be crazy good.
And it just looks so sexy, doesn't it? Like visually, I think this is going to be probably the best MCU project.
It does, it really does. And I just love everyone in it. But if you love Fantastic Four, I bet you'll also love Phineas and Ferb.
We're back in the room, baby.
I don't know how we segue back to. Oh, I know a way to connect it. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna A to C this. We're gonna get it to a connection. They have Phineas and Ferb Marvel comic books, like alternate Marvel comics, and one of them, the only one of them that Phineas is on, is actually a Fantastic Four one where Phineas is Mr. Fantastic, and so he's like stretchy and stuff.
Oh, it just works so well.
If you like Fantastic Four, you'll like Phineas and Ferb, and all the viewers of the Fantastic Four movie, all those millions and millions of people should watch Phineas and Ferb season 5.
That was probably the longest segue you could have done, but my God, was it good.
Got it.
Well, to be fair, you've crossed over with Marvel before.
We did have a Marvel crossover once, yeah. I think those things are so much harder now. Like I wish that wasn't the case, but like we've all wanted to do an Empire Strikes Back, Phineas and Ferb crossover because we did, basically it wasn't, we weren't one for oneing what was happening in A New Hope. Like it wasn't just our characters replacing the characters, kind of how Family Guy did that, or how Simpsons have done that. Um, but we were kind of like our story was happening like at the same time, and so we kind of intersect randomly. But all of us have wanted to do an Empire Strikes Back one. We think that would be like a really fun idea. And Empire Strikes Back is my personal favorite Star Wars movie. I just spent way too much money on a Empire Strikes Back crew neck like for the 45th anniversary yesterday at Disneyland. So I have that to look forward to.
Are you wiping away a tear because it was just like such an expensive weekend?
Because it was so expensive. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, $90 on a crew neck, on a jumper. But worth every penny. Disney makes high quality products like Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, agreed. My wardrobe is like 50% jazzy shirts, 50% like Disney merch.
I know. It's so hard every time I step on at a Disney park or go anywhere. I'm like, well, it's time for me to spend everything I made over the last 2 weeks on Disney items. Between the food, like all the treats I want to try, there's always something seasonal too. Like it's Disneyland's 70th anniversary right now, so they have all this seasonal merch And yeah, I just want to spend all this money on it.
Wouldn't it be a lot easier if they just like directly paid themselves instead of paying you?
They're paying me. They just send me boxes of t-shirts, and one of the big ones are spirit jerseys too, right? People love spirit jerseys.
Yeah.
I don't really I don't like how they fit me. I don't wear the spirit jerseys, but I support people.
You'll allow it. Fair, fair.
I'll allow it. Like it doesn't like fill me with rage when I see people wear them.
Well, I also saw you pitching Phineas and Ferb for Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah, I would love that. That would be so cool. And I've also worked on three Final Fantasy video games. I played a character named Hope in three different Final Fantasy video games. So this is pretty easy. You've already got a Final Fantasy voice actor and a Disney voice actor. Throw Phineas and Ferb into Kingdom Hearts. I think that would be perfect. People would love it. I've also had a lot of like that. That went kind of viral when I talked about it. So like, if the internet has any kind of power, this is the best way to use it.
I want nothing more in life. Like I think it works so well because you can still have the musical numbers in the game, like the Atlantica section in the first Kingdom Hearts game. Walk me through the level. Like, what's the plot? What keyblade do they wield?
Yeah, I mean, I just want somehow it to be able to like Phineas and Ferb could be building things to help the character, and there could be kind of like leveling games where you like have to like go to different levels. We could help build things to reach every new level. We could be helping out consistently. I just want to also be able to use the key at one point. Like I like if somehow they could hand Phineas the key, that's all I really want.
I honestly, I would say you were wrong if you didn't want to wield the keyblade. Frankly, that's the only right thing to say.
I want a picture of me with the key, my character with the key from Kingdom Hearts, and I'm gonna put it on like a poster on my wall. Because like there's some stuff that because Phineas and Ferb has such a great, awesome reach where I just think that like certain things are so cool that I can't get over, and I'm just like I have to buy this poster, like it's too cool. And that would be one of them. Because like even the Final Fantasy video games that I've worked on. I don't play Magic the Gathering, but they're releasing a big Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy crossover, and my character has a couple of cards like in the decks. And I was like, well, like I don't play Magic the Gathering, but Magic the Gathering is one of the biggest card games on earth. Like I have to go find these cards and I have to like put them in a little frame. Like that's the coolest thing ever. I gotta like put them in a little like display box or something. Like it's just cool to have them, you know?
I don't know why, but I always just assume like if your like face or your likeness is on a bit of merch, you just automatically be sent it. The fact that you said, and I quote, "You're hunting for it," makes me sad.
No, dude. I yesterday when I was at Disneyland, I wore this great shirt. It's a Phineas and Ferb randomly out of nowhere, like a month ago. The store Box Lunch, who has a lot of really great pop culture merch, just in the store, one of my coworkers saw that they were selling three different products of Phineas and Ferb Star Wars crossover merch. And so I have this really cool, like it looks like you're in outer space, and then it has an embroidered Phineas and Ferb with like lightsabers and stuff on it. And they sold out like within like a week, and they've never got them back into stores. And I was like, I never would have known about that had a cast member not just randomly been there and bought me one. And all the writers were super jealous 'cause I'm in the writers' room a lot for these new seasons of Phineas and Ferb. And they were all so jealous that I was able to get one. I was like, we can all go to the mall and try to find them, but they're definitely going to be sold out. We were like in the writers' room, like calling different malls around town trying to find them. So, no, there's some stuff that comes and goes, and I never even hear about it. And then I get super jealous when I see fans have like a really cute Perry the Platypus plush that I didn't know existed.
FYI, just a little tip for you. Next time you say you and all of the writers in the writers' room were trying to do shopping, just lie. Say you were in the writers' room working really, really hard on creating amazing content.
Working really hard, yeah, to make this great TV show. We totally never were calling to try and get t-shirts for everyone.
We can edit around that. That'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be okay. I think it'll do all right. I didn't name drop anybody who was making the calls, so it's okay.
There's a lot of your co-workers watching sweating like, don't you dare say my name.
I know,
But
I know.
for you, I will move swiftly on before someone gets fired. What has been the most surreal moment of your Phineas and Ferb journey so far?
Oh, all of it. I mean, it's there's been a lot of moments because this show has meant so much to so many people and has um it has such a large like reach over generations. Like, that you have people who grew up with it who are showing it to their kids now. The most surreal stuff for me has been stuff in the parks where it's the Phineas and Ferb walk around characters. There are people waiting in line to meet, my character, someone I play. And my voice is coming out of speakers on Main Street, and they're signing for kids. So that's some of the most surreal stuff. And I've also just had really, really great experiences at Comic Cons with fans and with families who are like, you don't understand what this show meant to us, and like this really brought us together, or it helped get them through a difficult time. And that's obviously it's not good that someone was going through a difficult time, but if you can create art and do something that is able to help someone in some way and make them laugh and make them smile and make their day better, that makes me very happy. So I'm always trying to remind myself to be, as appreciative as possible of the fans of this show.
And I can only imagine how much this whole thing excites you, because the new season so far has got like really wild.
Oh, it's gonna keep going. Oh, don't worry. It's gonna keep getting more and more intense. It's gonna be like out of control, crazy. But what's nice is though, as I said earlier, is like it doesn't feel like it's a different show. It doesn't feel like we tried to like reinvent the wheel with this. Like this was something that wasn't broken, and it's always going to feel the same. However, what we're able to do, because we have we have these 40 new episodes, is we are able to focus certain episodes on characters that maybe we didn't focus on as much before. And so you do have some like side characters or some secondary level characters who get a little bit more time to shine, and we get to, showcase them a little bit more. And I think that that's awesome because I love those characters and I love those actors. So, um, yeah, there's a lot that's going to be happening in season 5, and I think people will not be disappointed because some of the things that we've done are some of the best things we've ever done.
And you know what's nice? That you get to introduce some like up and comers, some newbies to the entertainment scene, like Michael Bublé, Alan Cumming, John Stamos, Megan Trainor. They're all joining you in this season. So it's nice to give them their like 5 minutes of fame, isn't it?
Some people who have totally never won many Grammys and Tonys and legends of the stage and of the airwaves. No, that is crazy. The guest stars that we're able to have on Phineas and Ferb are so wonderful. And I didn't get to meet Alan Cumming. I was so disappointed just because I love his work so much. And I didn't get a chance to meet him when he worked on Phineas and Ferb. But Michael Bublé called me beautiful, and that is pretty much the high point of my entire life. So, life over. Michael Bublé, one of the most talented, handsome men on earth, called me beautiful. So, November 1st through Christmas is Michael Bublé season in my house. I don't know about you. Um, but he's great. He's lovely, and his family loves the show, and it's cool. And I can't tell you what Megan Trainor's doing on the show. Dan almost spoiled that in an interview the other day. He just like said what she was doing, and I was like, that is like literally that is a massive spoiler.
Yeah, but it's Dan. So you're just like, oh, get out of here, you little rascal. Get out of here.
He can do whatever he wants. Yeah, they're not gonna get mad at him. If it was me, yeah, like the power would go out right now in this interview or something. Um, but no, we also have some really cool guest stars who we do have that we haven't announced yet too. Like one of them is one of my someone I truly like love so much and think is so great. It's an athlete, I can say. That's one of my favorite athletes ever. And so I'm like so excited to work with this person and to have them on the show. So we have a lot of great stuff coming up this season.
When you said someone you admire is on the show, my like mind started worrying. I'm like, oh, I know he just said he likes Robert Downey Jr. Maybe it's him. Maybe he's in the show. As soon as you said it was an athlete, I just heard white noise. I know nothing about sports. I was like, well, what's the point in even trying to guess?
Yeah, that's all. I'll leave it at. I'll just say it's an athlete. We do have some good other, actors. We never got Robert Downey Jr. We never had one of the Avengers actually. I have met Robert Downey Jr. though before because of Phineas and Ferb, just because they were, I believe it was actually the first like Avengers movie. We just ended up in the same green room at D23 at the Disney convention. So I was just like with Robert Downey Jr., which was very crazy. That I was also like 19, so I was like just me and like Robert Downey Jr. in this room for a while. Nicest man in the world, really really great guy, super interesting. We talked for 10-15 minutes, and then we had to go our separate ways, but wonderful man. I love him. He's great. He's awesome.
You must wake up every day like so disappointed, because it must be hard trying to reach these dizzying levels of hanging out with Robert Downey Jr. and being called beautiful by Michael Bublé. Like, it doesn't get better than that.
I know my life is, yeah, any day I'm not getting one of those things to happen to me is just a bad day. So I think the solution to that is we just have to keep doing episodes of Phineas and Ferb and get more really wonderful guest stars to come on the show. Um, and then they can compliment me and it can feed my ego. And then eventually I can become a diva like Dan Povenmire. And so I can reach his level. And then maybe one day I'll be able to be a diva like him.
I don't know if this will help feed your ego, but you are just so beautiful, Vincent.
It helps. It does. It helps. It helps a lot. And it's gonna get me through the rest of today. And I'm gonna see Dan later, so I'm gonna tell him that I was complimented today and he was not. So it'll help me try to get to the same level as him.
Oh, just humble him for me. Tell him I think he's rubbish in the show. Doofenshmirtz is one of like the worst animated characters ever. Ugh.
Yeah, it's so funny. He's so big on TikTok now too. Like he has such an amount of followers too. It's like whenever I go places with him, he's a rock star for like Gen Z and some younger millennials. Like they watch him all the time. And he's like collabed with all these famous TikTok people who I was like I hadn't even heard of some of these people, but they're like the modern, super famous people because I'm in my early 30s, and so there's just been some TikTok stuff that's just it's missed me. Like I just don't even know who those people are. Um, but he's bringing joy to a lot of people on TikTok. I know that.
He is the male 6-year-old Jojo Siwa at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. I hope not the same character arc that whatever's going on right now. I hope he stays out of the tabloids. But yeah, he's basically just JoJo Siwa has like a dance studio in Burbank, I think. And I didn't know about it. I kept being like, is this like her like their parents like studio, like, or is this how they got their name? And it was like, no, that's like a JoJo Siwa like dance studio. That's why it looks like that and has Siwa like in giant graffiti letters on it. I was just always confused by its presence. And JoJo Siwa, a titan of industry, I guess.
Well, you can't spell dance without Dan, just saying.
You can't. You can try, but it won't work.
If I ever get the chance to interview him, I'm going to tell him all of this, but just all out of context. Like, none of it will make sense and just watch him, like, break down.
No, I'm sure you could get Dan sometime. Dan is pretty accessible and he loves talking about the show. And he'll straight up he'll go to like college campuses and talk to like he'll do like talks with like kind of the next generation of filmmakers and animators and things like that, and he really helps inspire them. And I love that. I think that's so great. We need more people out here making good creative work, and so it's awesome that this next generation of filmmakers are so excited.
Well, if you put in a good word with Dan for me, I promise I will give you, like, a 5-star tour of Disney World.
Oh, awesome! Thank you. Okay, yeah, that'll work. It's a fair trade.
I'm talking free snacks, straight to the front of the line. Like, oh, it's going to be sick.
They let us go to the front of the line on Web Slingers, and that was really cool. They were just like, you guys can go on Fast Pass, and I was like, what? I felt pretty diva like when that happened. It was cool.
Well, you can't queue and have your legs ache and then immediately your arms ache straight after.
Yeah. We also saw Tiana's. That was the first time I went on Tiana's, the refurb of Splash Mountain. It was great. I mean, the animatronics look amazing on that ride.
See, I love, love, love The Princess and the Frog, so I'm so excited to go on that.
Yeah, me too. And it's its own story. Like it's not recapping the story of Princess and the Frog, really. It's like doing its own. It's got its own story. But just the animatronics look gorgeous. Like they're so beautiful. Um, yeah, someday, we'll convince them with our five signatures to have some Phineas and Ferb animatronics in the park.
At least a bin. Just give us a Phineas and Ferb bin.
Just one. I mean, there was a period we had a little like dance party at California Adventure that would go around and people would dance. It's not the same though. We need a ride. A ride is the move.
See, it makes sense. There's like 13 different episodes with roller coasters in.
We're constantly building rides. Like we're the modern day Walt Disney. Like we're all we're doing. Phineas and Ferb are heavily inspired by Walt Disney. Um, Probably the most like one-to-one of all the famous Disney characters right now. Like they're the closest.
Oh, like we get it. Tiana can make great beignets, but you make incredible mini golf courses.
Totally. Yeah. And I know there's a mini golf course here now that they have the Pixar one too, which is a huge thing out here. So it's all making sense. It's all coming up. The solution to all these problems and the problems are just ones we've created. Like they're not real problems. The solution to every problem is Phineas and Ferb ride at Disney.
Straight after this interview, I'm not even going to like edit the podcast. I'm just going to write up a contract. We are making this park.
They've got the space at Disney World. Like Disneyland, I understand they can't expand anymore, but Disney World, they've got the space for a Phineas and Ferb roller coaster.
I'm so ready to send this email. I'm like this close to hitting send.
And they got to compete. They have all those new other, we don't speak of those other theme parks that are opening up, but you want to give them a run for their money. I know who could do it, Phineas and Ferb.
Well, until then, I suppose we probably should talk more about Phineas and Ferb. I think I just heard your like publicist breathe a heavy sigh of relief. Have you ever personally campaigned for a celebrity to appear on the show? Like, I don't know, sliding into Paul Rudd's DMs with a pitch?
No, not in that way. I ran into Norman Reedus at an event. I was actually I was in Brazil, and I'm decently like popular in Brazil for some of my live action work that I've done. Like I was on a sitcom when I was a teenager called Everybody Hates Chris, and it's a very big sitcom there still. And so I was at this big event, and he was there promoting Ballerina, like the new John Wick movie he's in. And we hung out for a while because I worked with him on The Walking Dead, and he was saying he really wanted to get on Phineas and Ferb. He's like, my kid's a big fan of Phineas and Ferb. Can you get me on? And I was like, if you mean that, I was like, I can call like right now to try and get you on. So we're trying to get Norman Reedus on. I know that. I've personally campaigned for a lot of athletes because I love sports. That's why I'm wearing a sports hat right now. Like Dwayne Wade is the biggest player for the Miami Heat, which is the hat that I'm wearing. It's my favorite basketball team. I, I want to get Dwayne Wade on. And he's married to Gabrielle Union, who's like an incredible actress. So like we could have them both on. Like it makes sense. Um, and they've got a couple of children who I believe are the right age who probably have seen the show. So I've campaigned for like that. I've tried to get like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey because I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. But actors, it's so I really wanted Seth MacFarlane on the show, who is the creator and star of Family Guy, and we got him, and that was years ago. I didn't get to work directly with him, but I definitely heavily campaigned for that. But like Dan knows him personally because Dan has won Emmys for directing Family Guy. So like I don't know how much pull I had in that one.
Oh, mate, take it, run with it. Like, this was all you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. I could say it was me, even though because I was like, oh my gosh, I love Family Guy. I would love to have him on someday. But like Dan like has his cell phone number, so I don't think I had that much to do with it.
God, Dan is just annoyingly cool, isn't he? Like, he's making us other Dans look rubbish in comparison.
He's very, very cool and very talented, and you know, seeing the amount of work that him and Swampy do to make this show work between constantly being in the writer's room, constantly doing the edits, and like doing all the show running responsibilities. And so overseeing the production, having to deal with all the business side of everything because of all the merch that's coming out. And then on top of it, going home writing music for the show. Um, and then, having like with Dan, he still is constantly making content for all his fans online. So it is pretty nonstop.
What do you think you've got to do to persuade Dan to add Seth to the Phineas and Ferb WhatsApp group?
I don't know. I tried to get him to see Seth MacFarlane's on tour right now, like because he's got like an unbelievable singing voice, and I was like, we should go to Vegas and go see him because he's doing like a Sinatra album right now, and so it's all being done in Vegas, and I was like, we should go do a little road trip and go out there and go see him. So I'm trying to convince him to do that right now, and I'm also trying to convince just Seth MacFarlane to hire me on Family Guy and American Dad because I love those shows. So yeah, I'm hoping that Dan will let me become personal friends with Seth MacFarlane. That would be nice.
I like the phrase "let you become friends with Seth."
Let me. Well, I mean Dan goes to like I think he goes to like Seth's like Christmas party every year and stuff, and I've never been his plus one, so it's pretty messed up.
I need this interview with Dan so badly. Like, I'm sure, he could tell me cool stories, whatever, but I need it so I can become his best friend. Like, I want to live vicariously through him.
There's a lot of drama going on. He has all the access to all the best stuff.
When you were saying he was like bigger than Ariana Grande, I was like, okay, Vincent, whatever you say, Vincent. No, he is bigger than Ariana Grande.
Well, he's a member at Club 33, and you love Disney, so you know what Club 33 is. But for any viewers, I mean, it's like a very exclusive, hard to get into, and on top, obviously very expensive, but like there's like a wait list to get into Club 33 as well, and it gets you into all the there's secret restaurants for Club 33 hidden in every park, and has all kinds of exclusive merch and food you can only get there. It's really cool. I've been with him twice, and it is unbelievable there. So yeah, he's a cool guy.
I know we mentioned it earlier, but I do want to hear more about your WhatsApp group chat. Can you give me like a peek into the Phineas and Ferb group chat? Is it, I don't know, chaotic memes or deep lore? Like what's it called?
The main one that I use with Phineas and Ferb folks doesn't have Dan and Swampy in it. It doesn't have our creators in it. Because they're too busy. But the main one we have with the cast it's called Where Are We? And it's because a lot of times we go to Comic Cons together and we go to conventions. So a lot of times we'll like wake up in random cities and be like, where are we? Like what is happening? What time zone are we in? And so that's the one. I was using that group chat last night. Like literally last night I performed some Phineas and Ferb music at the House of Blues last night next to Disneyland. It was really, really, really cool. And I was there with two of my castmates, David Arrigo, who plays Ferb, um, and Olivia Olson, who plays Vanessa, and Olivia, who's like a unbelievable, incredible singer. And so we got to go on stage and sing some songs from Phineas and Ferb. It was very, very cool. The fans were like losing their minds. And now I've sang and performed on stage at the House of Blues, so that's crazy.
See, I'm excited hearing you talk about that. But if I'd have seen that in person, I think I'd have just like gone straight up feral, like flipping tables.
Oh, the crowd was going nuts. I'm gonna post about it later today, and the crowd was going crazy. But it was a really cool moment in my life for sure.
So I feel like I've now learned a lot about Phineas and Ferb from you, but I want to know just how well you really know the world of Danville. So we're going to play a game I'm calling Doof or Duh.
Doof or Duh?
Oh, it's very much a working title. Like the guys at Phineas and Ferb are a lot better at creative writing than I am.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm going to read you a list of Doofenshmirtz's greatest innators. Some of them are 100% real, 100% from the show, and some of them I've just completely made up. So your mission is to tell me if each one is an actual Doofenshmirtz creation or if it came straight from my own twisted brain. Now, no pressure, but Perry the Platypus is watching.
Okay.
We'll start off with the red-green shiftinator to turn all red lights green.
That seems real.
Yeah, it was right. Like this was actually from the latest season where Doofenshmirtz wanted to make sure he didn't hit traffic on the way home, so his shopping in the back of the car wouldn't melt.
Yeah.
The sock mismatcherinator, which randomly switches patterns on all of your socks, but only after you leave the house.
Not real?
Yeah, not real. You're annoyingly good at this, so I was hoping if I like tricked you into thinking my writing was real, like the real stuff, I might walk away with a job on the show.
No, there's gonna be some older ones that I'm gonna have trouble with just because I'm we it's funny too in the writers' room sometimes we'll have to be like, have we invented this before? Like, has this happened? Which is a great problem to have. It means we've written a lot of stuff. Uh, so let's see, let's keep going.
The whale translator inator, which Doof used to impress his girlfriend, who then left him for a whale.
Yeah, that's true.
Again, correct. Like you tried to make me feel better by saying, oh, I'm going to struggle. It's going to be hard. But so far, you've got 100% right.
You're gonna trick me on one of these for sure.
The pickle for a handinator that turns one of your hands into a sentient pickle that critiques your life choices.
No, that's not true.
Not true. Not true. What was I even thinking at this point trying to challenge you? I've just like embarrassed myself at this point.
I was about to say in another show that Dan's done, there was something where a character I played, on this Disney show, my arm became like a plant, and it was a plant forever. But I was like, no, that's not a pickle. There's a difference.
What can I say? You're an inspiration. And the last one, the use the lights for evilinator, used to hypnotize everyone into mindless slaves with the dancing lights.
Use the lights for evil. That's not real.
Okay, so this one was real, but it was actually like not part of the show at all. It was actually part of Disney World's Osborne Family Spectacle of Dancing Lights in 2010.
Oh, I totally do remember doing that. Yeah, that was really cool. That was in Hollywood Studios, right?
Yeah, which is like kind of frustrating because now that you remember this, it sort of means you got 100%.
Technically, yeah. And they still have us come out. They still have the characters come out for Jollywood nights at Hollywood Studios. I think they have Phineas and Ferb come out with their little Santa hats on.
Oh, that's great news because I'm going to Florida in December, so I hope I get to like sort of reunite with you.
Yeah, I think I'll be able to see them. Yeah.
Okay, so your knowledge is clearly like top tier, but let's shift gears for a second because you've been part of the show since the start. Is there an episode that still gets you emotional when you watch it back?
Gets me emotional. I mean, I really like mm, emotional. I'm a pretty hard for I don't cry easy at TV and films. So, I mean, I think the saddest I would go is we did a Disney Channel original movie called Phineas and Ferb Across the Second Dimension, and there's a lot of like sadness between Phineas, Ferb, and Perry, where they feel very betrayed that Perry has had this secret identity for all this time. And I think that's the saddest because they love they love Perry so much, and so seeing them not get along is so sad.
But surely you get like emotional when you reflect on the fact that this like little animated show from your childhood ended up shaping a generation sense of humor.
Oh, it's completely unbelievable. Yeah, you never think you're going to be involved in something that's going to be this successful. I mean, Phineas and Ferb is a quite successful show, and so um, yeah, we really don't take that for granted. Like we have an odd sense of humor. We're all wacky and weird, and that before Disney picked this show up, I mean, Dan and Swampy have been pitching this show for 13 years around town, and nobody wanted it. So it's huge credit to the people at Disney who recognize that Dan and Swampy are really talented and that they have great comedic voices and great comedic sensibilities. And we just hope that everyone keeps feeling the same way because we know that it's funny and we find it very funny and we have fun doing it. But you never know that you're gonna connect with audiences like this.
And I know you sort of touched on it earlier, but what's been the biggest thing you've learned about yourself while voicing Phineas over the years?
Um, I guess maybe I wish that I had Phineas's never-ending source of energy and optimism because he's always so happy and energetic and optimistic and never lets anything get him down or like get in the way of him. And I can be a pretty anxious person. So, yeah, I wish I could just be like, you know what? Everything's going to be okay. And I wish I could have that mindset every day. So that's the thing I've learned is that I need to take some more qualities from Phineas.
That's it. That my motto in life is what would Phineas do? In fact, you've been in voicing him for most of your life, but how long do you see yourself doing it? Could you keep going into your 80s like some sort of animated Doctor Who, but with better hair?
Like the way that we have been describing our hope for Phineas and Ferb is we want it to be Disney's evergreen animated show. And with animation, you have the ability to do that where you can just keep making these episodes. And obviously, I know I'll be able to play Phineas until forever. I put a lot of hard work and care into making myself the best voice actor I can and taking care of my voice. But this is the really a good opportunity for Disney to have their version of The Simpsons or Family Guy or SpongeBob, where you have these shows that just have this staying power and constantly people watch them and grow up with them and are able to show them to their families. And so our hope is, yeah, give us 10 more seasons, give us 20 more. We're all signed on. We all want to do it. And we all love working with each other and feel so inspired whenever we do work on the show. So we hope we get to go on for as long as possible.
Mate, when you mentioned The Simpsons and SpongeBob there, I got like a little bit tingly because both of those just so happen to have movies. Oh, are you guys following suit? Is there a full-blown big screen Phineas and Ferb movie still on the cards?
I don't know if they'll ever do it. I hope that they do. I think that people would love to see it. I think that people would go to the theaters and see it. Um, but I know at the same time they probably have their data that they're looking at of like, but if we keep it on Disney Plus, then people will watch it on Disney Plus, and that's better for the streaming service. So I don't really know because even when we did Candace Against the Universe, obviously that came out during COVID too. Like that came out at like the height of the pandemic, so theaters weren't really open, but. I know that they wanted it to premiere on Disney Plus to also like help inspire people to like utilize the service more. Um, but we definitely there are some like scripts already written of really good like movies that Dan and Swampy want to do for Phineas and Ferb. And I know that they would love to have movies in the theater. So would I. I love going to the movies. I do you guys have AMC A list there? Is that
No, we don't.
Yeah, I mean, well, I try to see a couple movies a month. Like I love going to the movies. I love making movies and TV shows. So, um, it's a blast getting to do this job. We'll do it forever.
And I will happily watch it forever. Keep on feeding it to me.
We will, and we have so many good ideas. Like, we have not finished with all the 40 episodes that we are planning on doing with this run right now. We're more than halfway done, but we're still working on it. And there are just so many other great pitches for ideas, for inventions, for innators that Doof makes that we have going for the future. And so there are a lot of stories left to tell. We will be able to keep doing this thing for many.
If I hear that sock mismatchinator come up in a future episode, I will find you, Vincent.
You're gonna know exactly where it came from. Yeah, you're gonna be like, "Are you kidding me, dude?"
Well, dude, I'm gonna have to love you and leave you now. I'm gonna let you enjoy the other 103 days of summer vacation now.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me today. I hope your viewers all enjoy the new episodes of Phineas and Ferb. They were made with a lot of love, and yeah, hopefully you get to interview Dan and talk with him about how much of a diva he is, and hopefully we'll be doing more interviews for 10 more seasons of the show.
Oh, mate, every season. Hell, I'll do it every episode. You're not getting rid of me now.
I'll be back. Yeah, I'll be back every season. I would love that. That'd be great.
Oh, honestly, thank you so much for that again. Like, what a day. Have a good one, mate.
Awesome. You too. Enjoy your trip to Disney in a couple months.
Oh, you don't need to wish me a good holiday. I'm going to see you out there when we go together in August.
Absolutely.
Right, I better get packing now.
Perfect. Well, have a great day, okay?